Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for June the 21st, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together to take a look at the market, macro to micro, drill down to the structure of the market, the targets, and our trade levels and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room, so we do this live session each morning, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the day. Before we get going, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful opportunity in gold last night I took. Just want to point it out because it is my favorite. Actually, I took two of them. I took one last night. This one right here, FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky, Tech Gap. Notice what time it is, between the 20 and the 21. Market move was up. This is a reversal period. This is Ducky's reversal period on gold. What do? We get a slow grind down all night long. I traded this. I got in at 1295.50, funded it at 1294.50, and I took it off at 1277.50. So close to $19 I took out of that trade last night. Then I took this one this morning. Here's your FUBAR. Here's your Mr. Sneaky. Here's your technical gap. What do? We move up and close the gap. And right now I've got one contract running long. I don't think I'm going to get much on this. I'm expecting gold to start to move down towards that 1250, 1260 area. But we'll get into that in just a minute. Also wanted to point out that Mr. Sneakies are working really well in the ES right now as well. We had a beautiful one last night. First of all, we had a huge global gap. This was a weird one because usually when you get a global gap, it's not into the previous body. Usually you'll see a gap up in this circumstance. And the fact that we gapped down, it was kind of weird. I did take it. I took the 77.75. Finally got in and got funded, and then I moved my stop to 78.25, and I got taken out. But then they came down and gave us this beautiful FUBAR Mr. Sneaky Tech Gap, and rode that one up again. One here. Made the turn, and then earlier this morning there was one as well at the high of the night, right there at the 86. So you get Mr. Sneaky. So, and then if you look at yesterday, moved down, but this one didn't count because it was in balance. I'm not sure if the VPOC had shifted down there yet, but you did have one here for a nice move up. I thought there was another one too, but Mr. Sneakies have been leading the turns, so just they're back working really strong. Of course, we just got the double Renko reversal set up off of this this beautiful FUBAR. I didn't take it because we're coming into to this session. So unfortunately, I didn't get to take advantage of this particular one yet. I actually didn't even set up. This didn't turn out to be the Mr. Sneaky. This one did. So this is kind of a strange one. Anyway, let's get going. First of all, let's review yesterday. So yesterday, our Hypo 1 was a move down into somewhere between this area right here, and then slowly grind our way back up through, and then chop around up in the 90s. That was hypo 1. Hypo 2 was a move up and finding responsive sellers between 89 and 93, 75, maybe a probe up into the 95 area, and then a slow grind down and a move down towards that 72 with possibility of going down to the 69.50. But we said it was going to be an inside tight day inside of those wicks, and we spent the majority of the day in those wicks until we finally got the move down into 72. I was in that one short for the longest time yesterday, but it finally paid off. So what I'm talking about here is, we talked about we were going to open up inside of these two wicks right here, and I said we had a high likelihood that we would chop around inside of these wicks, and I was putting a range from that 79 up into the 95 to spend most of our day in, and that's exactly what we did. And then we got the late day probe down to that naked VPOC down at 72 and back down towards this balance area here, which is the 2 days that we tried to hold value here and here before moving down to that 42. So let's just take a step back, take a look at the news. I mean, this week it's going to be all about Bre-X. Don't forget to take a look at your brokerage notes. They'll probably be sending everybody notes. They're going to be raising margin requirements substantially, over the course of the next few days after tonight. So watch your size, and because you're putting out a lot more margin, and it's all about Brexit. And really, if you look at the bookies and there's like, I don't know how many millions of dollars being placed on this, the bookies, and the people that are actually putting money on the line, they're saying that that Brexit is not going to happen, that Britain will remain. So all these polls and everything really don't mean much. They're worth about 10 ticks. Sorry, 10 points right now. Every time they put one out. I was reading Northey, and he's saying that he's looked at the average move off of each poll, and it's 10, averages 10 ES points off of each move. So we do have news coming up in about 5 minutes. We've got Draghi speaking. Today it's all going to be about how people are responding to Brexit and rates. And so we've got Draghi speaking. We've got Yellen starting her 2-day testimony at 10 o'clock today. We've got FOMC Powell speaking later this afternoon. So mostly today it's all going to be, there's no real economic news. It's all going to be about Brexit and rate increases and what monetary policy is going to be going into this weekend. So just keep that in mind, that we've got news coming out overnight. The markets are seemingly up. We've got the FTSE. Well, now it's down. So FTSE's down slightly, but the DAX is up. So is the CAC. Most of Asia was up overnight, fairly decently, and then your U.S. It's pretty much up overnight, even though we've had that little bit of a sell-off in the last hour or so. So taking a look at the macro, again, trend is back and holding on the monthly. Our month open take note of this because this is going to be important today. Our month open is 2085. We're currently trading below it at 2080. 2085 is going to be a key line in the sand above us. And then our week open is 2071. And that's going to, I know that Scott is suggesting 2074, but really it's going to be 2071 that I want to see us get below for the short side. But the overall trend, we're in consolidation. We have challenged it at the end of 15 and the beginning of 16, but we're currently holding above the 9 and the 20 on the monthly. On the weekly, same thing. We've got slope and separation to the upside. If we do get a sell-off on BREX news, you want to be targeting down here in the 1983.44. That's if, and I say if, Britain exits. I think that this would be a very good target if there is a vote to leave the euro. Going to the daily, you can see that we started to get a downward trend, but we're taking it back, and we're currently in between the 9 and the 20, and undecided going sideways right now on the daily. On the 4-hour intraday, you can see we're back to getting an upward trend. On the 4-hour, there is a naked cross up here at 21.11 and a quarter. I don't think that's going to get hit today, but it's something that we need to keep an eye on. We've got this gap zone right here. The gap down last week. So the trend on the 4-hour is up. On the 1-hour consolidation, we're just now below the 9 and the 20 again. It looked like they were starting to get the upward trend. And then we got a Mr. Sneaky here, and we've sold off in the last hour on that pole. There's a naked cross down here. Write this one down. This is a potential target for today at 2067. But it is on the 1-hour, so we have to respect that it's a longer time frame. Going to the 30-minute, again, more consolidation, and again, there's a naked cross down here at 2062.75. And we've got the gap zone from Sunday night at 2070 down to the range high, which would be here, here at 2068, but the naked close is all the way down at 2062. So that's a big area if we get below that 71 area. But definitely got some weakness coming in on the 30-minute. On the 15-minute, you can see we got a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky technical gap going on right now. Move up to close the gap would probably take us up into the 80.75 to 81 level. So keep an eye on the 15-minute right there, but we do have the start of a downward trend on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, same thing. We've got strong move down, move to close the technical gap, but got good slope and separation, and we're seeing weakness coming in. All right, taking a look at the structure. Okay, so I brought all these days in. We're now running a micro composite from March 17th through to yesterday. The microcomposite VPOC is right in line still with the composite VPOC that goes back to the beginning of 2013 at 2042. We had come back inside of this balance, and now the value area has shifted to 76.50. 76 and a quarter at high and 23 and a quarter low. So we have got a shift of value when I bring these days up here into the longer time frame microcomposite. But we are currently above that 76. You can see we moved back down to the 72 yesterday, took out that naked VPOC, but it was also where they tried to hold value before the move down to 42. So the buyers are stepping in here at the 72. We've got the CLVN has shifted from 73, 75 down to 73. I'm using 71. Actually, it's really 70.50, and that's the Sunday night low and the week low right now. But I'm going to use 71 because that's the week open, and I'm going to use that as my key line in the sand. So I'm shifting down slightly. Can you use 74? There's nothing wrong with using 74, except I don't like using HDNs. I like using LVNs. And I would say not 70. If you're going to use a higher number, not 74, make it 73, or go up and use 76. Because below 76, you're likely to come down into that 74. Now, we're in this little distribution zone that we're now creating. There's another microcomposite, that I put in that starts from May 25th through to yesterday. I'm sorry, yeah, May 25th to yesterday, and its VPOC is above us at 2085. So we've got some price acceptance above us, and then we've got the 2081, the 2072, and then the key one below is going to be the 2062.75, because if we get back inside value, we can't hold this breakout. We've got this gap zone now from the breakout yesterday. If we can't hold above that 71, then I'm targeting the 62, and likely a move down back into this 42 area and chop in here. But right now, the buyers are still coming in, and they're holding us up. We're getting good price acceptance around the 79. You can see that the first 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, first 8 days that we broke out, they accepted value at that 78, 75. So, and it's the mature price within this little distribution zone is now 79. So 79 is becoming price acceptance in this area. It can be used as a pivot point. The floor pivot is a little bit higher. It's at 2081.83. But the key levels to watch in this area are the 79, the 71 to 73, the 85, and the 95. Those are the most important levels. And personally, if we're in this area, I can see us chopping around again in here. We really want to be strong and long above 85, and you want to be, very bearish below 71 into the 62. So let's take a look at Globex. Globex is basically a pretty balanced profile. And inventory is actually net long, overnight. So we had the strong move up in the ETH session, and then they opened up down, tested lower down to the 74, and then slowly worked their way back up into the 86 and near that LVN from yesterday at the 85.75, and then they rolled over. So taking and moving our numbers over, our overnight high is 86. Our overnight low is 74. Our VPOC is not likely to shift. It could shift down here to 79, but right now it's at 81, which is basically sitting right on the value area low from yesterday. And that's really all the information that we can extract from overnight that's important. There is an LVN right here at 76. Now I'll note that 76 because right now we've got this this LVN zone that starts from 77, 75 down to 76.50. So this right here, this little thin area before this lower distribution that we created on the close of yesterday is going to be a trade area, and it's going to be wide. So it's going to be from 76, and I'm going to put two of them here, okay, because I don't want to be long until I'm above 77.75, and I don't want to be short unless I'm below the 76 area and into that naked close at 74.50 and the overnight low. So I'm going to be targeting the close of the day at 74.50, 2 ticks in front of the overnight low if we get below 76. Then don't need this. Now I can expand this out. So let's put our levels in. Obviously right now we've got the value area low at 80.75. I'm going to be using 81 as a trade level. I want to be above 81 for long. I want to be short below 88.75, and I'll be targeting that 79. I'm actually going to target 78.75. No, 79. And then, I'll move down to test this double trade area. All right, and then above us, we've got the IB high and the open up here at 84 with the microcomposite VPOC at 85. So I'm going to be targeting 85 just in front of the overnight high if we get above this 81 level. And then you've got the overnight high, and there's the LVN right here. And I'm actually going to use this as both a target. Well, targets, trade areas are always targets as well, but they're also areas where I'll enter a trade. I'm going to be looking to either add into this trade or definitely scaling in front of it. That's why I'm targeting 85, the microcomposite VPOC. But if we get above it, then I'm going to add into it because we got value above us still up here at 88 inside of yesterday's value area. And then above that, we've got 91.25. Our daily ATRs right now is running at 1890. So based on the overnight low of 74, our upside ATR target is 93, which is basically a couple ticks above yesterday's range high. And our overnight high being at 86, our downside ATR target is all the way down here at 67. Weeklies right now is running at 50.76. That puts our weekly ATR target. It's actually 42. It's actually 41.75. But I got it down here so I can see it, because when I put it on 41.75, it gets hidden below. But basically, 42 is our weekly downside ATR target. And to the upside, our weekly ATR target is 21.25. Remember that our weekly low is 70.50. It's one of the reasons why I'm using 71 rather than the 74 or the 73 for my downside. And then above that, we've got 95.25. And then all our levels above all remain the same up in the 2100s. To the downside, below the 76. I'm looking for the 71, and then I'm putting my key line in the sand, and I'm actually going to use 71.25. And I'm going to be using 86 as the key line in the sand above. What the overnight high? So I think if we get above 80, 85, 86, we're going to get a bigger move up into the 90s again. Okay, so those are our levels, and then down below that, you've got the 65 level. There's one at 68. I'm going to move down here to 68.25. And we've got the 65, and then the big target. This is our next big target below 62.75. The key target today is down here at 70.25 and 69.50, but the next big target below is that 62. Remember, that's the microcomposite VPOC of this 4-day balance area, and a naked VPOC that we left. Then 58.75, 53, 52.25. It's actually 52.50 now. 49, and then the all-important 42 level. So hypothesis, really quick, because I know we're running long. We're going to open auction in range, but slightly out of value if we hold below the 80.75. My main hypothesis is an open auction in range, and I'm expecting to test both sides of the LVN at 77.75 and 80.75 on the open. Hypo 1 is a move up into this distribution zone up here in around the 85, 86 area, possibly even 88, and a failure to move higher, and then a rotation down and a move down into the 69.50 level, possibly down into 67 with a late day probe down to 62.75. So open auction in range, chop between 77.75 and 80.75. Try to push higher. Find responsive sellers somewhere between the 84, maybe 83.75 and the 88 level, and then roll over and work our way back, continue the auction down below. That's Hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, a move down to test the range low from yesterday, possibly a dip down to the 68.25, somewhere here, finding responsive buyers and rotating us back up through and targeting 88 and 91.25, with maybe a possible late day probe up into 95, but not likely. So that's Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, a move down, chop around in the 71 to 69.50, and then get a continuation wave down into 62, possibly even the 58.75 area. So Hypo 3 is open auction in range, push down, chop around in around the low to the 69.50, and then get failure and a continuation wave down into the 62.75 as the main target on Hypo 3. Hypo 4 is open auction in range, push up, chop around in this 88 area between the 90s and the 80s, and basically just chop, maturing the auction up here, and then maybe a late day probe up into 95. But basically hypo 4 is balance and chopping inside of value from yesterday. So that's going to complete our ES. We're currently below the Keltner center line at 82. We did get a double Renko reversal, and that is playing out. If we hold below the Keltner center line and move down to the lower line, will take us down into that 76, and the probably more likely by the time we get there 74.50, and the takeout of the overnight low. Above the Keltner center line, and move up into the upper Keltner is going to take us up into that 86 and our key line in the sand. Just again, I put this in wrong. Okay, so that's our hypo. Looks like we've got some weakness coming in. So if we don't hold that 76 to 77, 75 level, look for them to push down. We may even open up down here. We've got a few minutes to go still, and we're seeing some weakness. Quick look at gold. Gold, really, I'm expecting to see some continued weakness coming in, and a move back down towards this this 58 to 62 level. And if we can't find that, those buyers here at the 57, 58 level, then I'm expecting a move down into the 43 and 37.60 area and back into this key balance area. Levels to watch for today is going to be this 67.40 below, and the if we can get above this this 88.40, then I think we could push up into the 96.50 and challenge the high overnight. Anyway, that's going to be it for our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.